Hey guys, review of the BFL Regional Championship on pools 14, 15, and 16 of the Mississippi River on this episode of Co-Anglers. Everyone, welcome back to the Frugal Moose Studios for this episode of Co-Anglers Corner. I'm Russell Olson. Today on the show, like I mentioned, we're going to be reviewing the BFL Regional Championship on the Mississippi Rivers, the legal waters are pools 14, 15, and 16. To get down there, first of all, the official housing, that's where I stayed at, is the Isle Casino in Bettendorf, Iowa. Um, that was nice. We actually had an in-person meeting um, for uh, for the regional for the pre-tournament meeting. That hasn't happened since COVID. I was meaning to ask our tournament director, Mike Busey, seeing if that was going to be something that was going to be starting to happen again. Um, and then day one, got out. My partner and I went up to pool 14. We mostly concentrated on wood. I got my keep it out of wood. Basically, the weekend was basically the whole weekend was spent pretty much using a Texas rig. I didn't get anything. Didn't really get anything else. Uh, basically got one fish that day, and some dinks. That's the story for pretty much for day one. You know, it is what it is. Um, go into day two. Uh, I thought they'd actually be biting better day two. Not so much. All I got was a good keeper walleye. If I could have kept it, the wife and I could have had a pretty nice dinner with that. I love the taste of walleye, but unfortunately, it was the middle of a tournament, so I couldn't keep it. Caught a few dinks, but day two was pretty rough. I got Mississippi River on that day. We went to 14 for that one as well. We fished a lot of shorelines and rock and some points. It was definitely a tough day. Kind of some overalls. Just a few stories here and there. My boaters both days only got 3 fish, and they had a 5 fish limit. So, yeah, it was a tough day. There are a few top people that didn't even get their limits both days, and that goes both the boater and co-angler side. Talked to my partner from day one. I saw him after the tournament on day two, and his day two, he only got 1 fish. Okay, 1 fish. He was a boater. So if you got a boater that's only getting that got 1 fish, yeah. I'll talk more about the place in generalities here in just a little bit. So it was a rough tournament. Got a free stick of deodorant out of it. The tournament was sponsored by Mando deodorant. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm curious how that'll be. Some overalls. Okay, so my opinion of pools 14 or 15. If you get a chance to fish those just for fun, don't. Go up to 13. I guess 17 is supposed to be decent too, but pools 14, 15, and 16 yeah, they're yeah, they're not great. I can see why Major League Fishing brought the regional there. They probably made it was a Quad Cities, and they probably made a, pretty good deal for Major League Fishing to come there. So I don't blame them for coming there, but excuse me. I just hope that we don't fish there again for a little while. I guess next year's regional is going to be back on Grand Lake, so yeah, I'll be looking forward to fishing there again. I definitely learned a few things the first time I fished there. Um, I got a little experience, a few more tools to help me, so that could be very good. But kind of getting back to the subject at hand here, um, yeah, the water in a lot of places was pretty dirty. Um, it was honestly more like what I usually expect when I go to anywhere on the Mississippi River. Um, up in the upper some of the upper pools that we fish during the regular season, it always surprises me how somewhat clean it is up there. So it was, obviously a lot different deal. Um, so I thought I came prepared. This is one tournament where I feel like I was not anywhere around them. I'm not saying my partners did anything. I mean, they were both great partners, but just the numbers in that pool are just not there. And supposedly 14 is the better of the best of the pools. Um, the numbers of keepers and the size of keepers were just not there. That's that's the story. Overall, this is going to be the end of the tournament season for me, unfortunately. We're getting into, as of the filming of this, we're getting into the latter part of October here already. The tournament was actually the um, first part of the month, first weekend of the month, and the temperature wise, it was warm. It was in the upper 80s both days. With a nice warm day during the fall, and weather been pretty consistent. I'd never fished that pool before, but I really expected the fishing to be a lot better than it was. I'm just dumbfounded that the fishing, and it wasn't just me. Obviously, I got 61st, but I wasn't the only one that had a hard time down in those pools. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it doesn't make any sense that there weren't more fish there. I mean, like I said, okay, the big difference was the water was more stained than most of the places I fish on that river. Okay, I admit there's a difference there, but I mean it has good wood. There's a lot of uh, rock. I mean, there's a variety of stuff, just like the other pools of the Mississippi River. So I am still just absolutely dumbfounded that the fishing wasn't better than it was. But some when you fish a place for your first time, you learn about it. Um, it gives me some more more ideas. If we do have another tournament there again. Um, Obviously, weather conditions are gonna change things. These tournaments, that river changes all the time. Um, Prior year, the boater won down there, and he won it on a Texas rig. So I mean, it makes sense that it bit down there. I tried other stuff. I think I could get. I got my keeper on a Texas rig, and pretty much, from what I can recall, everything, even all the dinks, were all just on Texas rig. It's definitely fun. It's always fun fishing, even on your hardest days. Um, I would say that I really, as a co, just kind of reflecting, thinking about, the colors I used. It was stained, so I really like that. But the conditions were bright, so I like that. It's like a bright blue. I forget what they call it. It was a Christy Craw. But I don't remember what they call it. It's a not really a translucent blue. It's a bright blue, but it's not translucent. But it had sparkles in it too. Thinking back with everything, I just, I have to, maybe reflect some more during the off season here, but I really cannot really pinpoint anything truly specific that I could have, I could have done differently here. So, like I was saying, that's pretty much the end of the season. Had a good season. Had a good fun season. I finished 28th in the points. My first tournament of the year, which is usually one of my tougher tournaments, that early spring tournament. This year was actually probably my best tournament. I had a good limit of fish. Definitely there's definitely a lot of positives I can take away from the season. A few things I've learned, and I'll continue to grow off that. I'm hoping with the next few seasons to get a boat, start doing this as a boater. It's that point for me where it's actually been at that point for a while where I need to be doing this as a boater. I'm ready. I want to put in the work I need to put in. I'm just super confident that given the tool, having the tools I need, I have confidence that I can do this. After a couple tough seasons, this was a season I really needed. I really needed a good season, a lot of positives to take away. So the biggest thing I want to continue working on, just personally, is just the mental part of the game. One thing that I still struggle with is, when my boater's catching fish and I'm not really getting them, I just always got to remember that I'm not getting first crack of the fish. So, but I'm just looking for spots to take advantage. I've like I said, I had good finishes. My keepers for the most part were actually pretty good. Good experience. Like I said, I wish the regional championship would have went a little bit better, but hey, that's fishing. Especially going to a place for the first time, you learn. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and cap this off. I want to thank Fergus Books for their support this season. I always appreciate those guys when I need some good fishing books. I recently got a pretty good cookbook from them. Recently, they've got a good selection of DVDs and Blu-rays. Check them out, fergus.com, or if you're in Madison, stop in and see them. So with that said, guys, again, you guys that are still fishing, I'm hoping to get out, once or twice for just some fun fishing, before it gets too cold out. I hate the cold. I really don't ice fish. So hopefully again 1 or 2 more times just for fun before it just gets too darn cold. Here in Wisconsin, it gets too darn cold. I envy you guys down south that you guys might get a little cool. You guys might get down in the 40s depending on where you are, but your water doesn't get hard and you can really get on the boat all year. So guys, again, for you guys still fishing tournaments or even just fishing, still fishing out, good luck. If you guys could really do me a favor and like and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell for the notifications when I come out with new episodes, I'd really appreciate it. And that's, like I said, that's it for me. Go get 'em.